Ay Dios, ay Dios. Yo me quedé por aquí abajo hoy.
Uh-huh.
¿Qué boletín?
Hey, look, you weren't attacked by the ghost today.
No, I wasn't. No one's been attacked today by the ghost. You know what? Let's not say it.
Ladies and gentlemen, look how pretty. Look how pretty. Not that she's not pretty every day, because I got to tell her she's pretty every day.
every day, bro.
But look at her. Look at her.
Estoy ando un poquitico más producida.
You got to put the camera down because they can't see your hairdo.
They can't see my hairdo.
Oh, there you go. See? That's what I'm talking about.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio, CLR 154 on your Sirius XM dial. If you're listening to us on Sirius, if you're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, we invite you to download our app, ENTV USA, where you can have access to all of the exclusive content for free of Cachita Latina Radio. All of our programming from 6 a.m. to midnight, which we have a very, very diverse programming, and I know that you're going to love it. You're going to have access to everything on ENTV USA, including an amazing concert series called Unplugged. You also get special access to our official sponsors, starting with Aaron's Pigeons, with a fascinating show right here on Cachita Latina Radio every Saturday at 11 a.m. And 305 Fights, that has a very cool dynamic platform. They also have a huge event coming up March 27th, right here at Cachita Universal Studios. If you want to get tickets, you can come straight to Cachita Universal Studios this Saturday, and you will receive 10% off of your VIP tickets. You don't want to miss it. Last event was out of this world. This event, I know we have about 11 matches, and we have our friends from 305 Fights joining us soon to talk about everything, this new event. And I think one of the coolest things that we have going on with this event is that we've partnered with 305 Fights and Cachita Latina Radio and ENTV USA to, raise awareness and funds for Everly Jane and her family and everything that they're going through, helping them along the way with, her recovery, her treatment, transportation, everything. So I know that Mr. Patterson, her dad, is going to be here with us, God willing, on the 27th, and we, Izzy and myself will be there also. And
in the ring.
In the ring.
I got my gloves already, by the way.
His shirts are shorter than mine. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm ready.
So you're ready. So we're going to be talking about Everly Jane, this beautiful, beautiful little girl, and we're going to be inviting everyone to please, donate to their GoFundMe page. Also, we're going to have these really cool little
I got to show the
wristbands.
prices. They're really cool.
I think that they're super cool, and they're going to be on sale for $5. So anyone and everyone can make sure to buy 3, 4, 5, or 6 of them, because I'm not that salesperson that goes up, hey, do you want to buy one? No, I go up and say, hey, guess what? We got 10 wristbands. You want 5 or you want 10?
Exactly. That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
You go buy a car, and that's what they do.
That's it, man.
We're going to be sharks on that day.
What? We're not going to be there. Say, hey, do you guys want to buy one? No. How many would you like?
Yes, that's
How many are you buying?
That's right.
That's it.
You got a nice car, you got gold and all that stuff when you come to all these fights and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
Show me how much money you got.
Yes, let's do this. And let's do it for a good cause.
That's right.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are here each and every night courtesy of Café Cachita, el mejor para compartir. And I'm running on empty today with my coffee, Izzy. So on the break,
oh boy,
te va a tocar hacer un cafecito.
That kid's going to be, for those that don't know, she's pregnant, and that kid is going to be high as a kite on Cuban coffee.
I don't know, okay. Yeah, no, Americans say it too. If you deny a pregnant lady something, you get a sty in your eye.
Really?
Te sale un suelo, yeah.
Okay, so what do you want?
Yo quiero café más tarde. Me tiene que hacer cafecito, si no te sale un suelo. That's on you, bro. That's on you. That's not on me. That's just the way life works. I'm letting you know.
I also want to say hi to the Homestead Police Department.
I love the Homestead Police Department.
You do?
Yes. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Since I started participating in the Migrant Kids Toy Run, I want to say 10 or 11 years ago.
Right.
They, from the time I got involved, and I know they were involved prior to that, they have always supported our ride. They've escorted our riders safely to the Redlands Migrant Christian Association camp. And they've just been absolutely amazing each and every year, as well as the elected officials down there have always been very, very supportive. For a very long time, Elvis Maldonado was the one that sponsored, like the pizza for the kids and the water And, you know, people think, oh, pizza and water, that's not a lot. Yeah, it is when it's like 500, 600 kids.
That's right.
And, you know, I think it's amazing.
And you know, Homestead Police Department is one of those departments. It's just silent. Nobody hears too much about it and stuff like that. Every once in a while, you know, something pops up. But, you know, they've always been good to us. And we worked hand in hand when I was with Miami-Dade Police Department, hand in hand with Homestead PD. Had a couple of my friends there. I guess they're also retired, hopefully. Thank God. And not because of the department, just because police work is not the same anymore, you little boys and girls. It is not the same.
Could it be that you're getting soft?
I'm getting soft?
I'm asking. I am asking a question. Could that be it?
Is that a sign of weakness? Because if it is, I don't think so. See, you know, people tell me that I am 2% of humanity. That 98% of the people in this world do not think like me, do not act like me, and do not talk like me. But the bottom line is, listen, I'd rather say the truth. I rather say it exactly how I see it, and some people just don't like it. But that's too damn bad, because that's just the way I am. And I'm not changing. I'm taking that to my grave. I'm proud of that. Why sit there and pussyfoot around issues and involving politics and police and all that stuff? Black Lives Matter. Oh boy, don't get me going. And Antifa and all that stuff that's going on in the border. And today I was sitting there watching TV for a little bit, because I like to go out of my shop that I have in the back yard and work on stuff just to get away from the news. And I'm here sitting going, why are there people agreeing and voting for things that are going to harm this house, the United States of America? You know, this great nation. Why would you do something that you know deep down inside is going to, in the long run, is going to hurt this country? Instead of doing stuff that is positive, instead of doing stuff that makes a difference, you know, oh, no. We're going to try to figure out how to screw this place up as quickly as possible. This socialism and communism and all this garbage that's going on, I'm telling you right now, it has me sick to my stomach. It really does. But in my mind, I want to believe that the majority of the people that live here, the citizens in this great nation, the majority, okay, are not going to put up with it, including myself. I owe that to my parents that came from a hellhole in the middle of the, you know, the Caribbean there in Cuba, the little island in the middle of nowhere. And, you know, I owe it to them. You know, my father's deceased and my mom is still alive. She's 91. And, but I still owe that to them. Got it?
I got it. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. So I know that Florida City is not Homestead. I know, but they're close. They're neighbors.
Oh, there you go.
They're neighbors. And there's a case that I wanted to talk about because I happened to be talking about a similar situation a few months back with a friend of mine. And I would love to, you know, your opinion.
Oh, boy.
All right. So residents of a trailer park in Florida City, some who have been there for years, are being kicked out after the city made a deal to sell the land to developers. Residents of the 15-acre lot, which is owned by the city, have until Wednesday to leave, according to the Herald. City officials are working to close a $6.8 million sale with developers. As part of the deal, all trailers, campers, recreational vehicles, and their occupants have to be gone, said the mayor, Otis Wallace. The deal can't close until the campsite is empty, said Wallace, who's been mayor of Florida City since 1984. Because residents aren't being told to leave because of their inability to pay rent, they aren't likely to be helped by the federal moratorium on evictions due to COVID-19. Many of the 70 or so residents are elderly and have physical and mental health problems that make it difficult to work. Several residents said that they were blindsided by the notice from the city that they needed to move. Located in one of the South Florida's poorest municipalities, the low-income trailer park has been home to residents since the 80s. One person said, "We just can't come up with the money to go somewhere else on such a short notice." A 17-year-old student who lives at the park with his father. "If they gave us 90 days, at least we'd be able to work with that. And we could figure something out. We could figure out, you know, work some overtime or something. I don't know." The mayor said it's been telling residents to make other living arrangements since 2019. The only reason evictions haven't happened sooner is that the talks with developers have been delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He says, I am sympathetic to the campers, but as the mayor of Florida City, I'm sympathetic to taxpayers too. Now, what do you think?
Well, as long as they don't say that the land is contaminated, because that's the first thing they're going to say. Well, the land is contaminated. They got to leave because we got to do a study. And what they do is they bring a bunch of trucks and they stir up the soil, and then they said, oh, "Okay, it's all fixed and ready to go." Now, if here's two things. Any trailer park, any a trailer park that is not an eyesore, but it's a problem for any city. Okay, at one point or another, it's got to go. It's got to go. But, however, if it's a low income, nobody has nowhere to go, and it's just
it's too short notice. Also,
well, they're going to tell you that this has been going on for a while. The city's going to tell you this. Remember, I worked public corruption for 9 years, so this is what the city's going to tell you. We've told them this a couple of years ago, and they're still there. They're refusing to leave. So now we're giving them 30 days or whatever it is to evict them, and now they're bitching about it, and they want 3 more months. And then next thing you know, they want 3 more months. That's what's going to happen. So what I would like to know, you know the name of the trailer park there?
No, it doesn't specify the name, no.
See, what happens is that there's at times, I'm not saying that's what's going on in Florida City, and there are people that are very interested in properties in Florida City. A lot of people. And a lot of people that have a lot of money, and they're very connected to politicians. I just leave it at that. Very, very, very connected to these politicians. And they get a sweet deal to go ahead and construct and do
of course,
shopping centers.
Everyone's getting kickbacks.
Of course. Well, listen, I can't say of course.
Well, I can.
Oh, I forgot I'm retired. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But what happens is that I had a couple of investigations. I'm not going to tell you in what area, but because I don't know if those investigations are closed or not, and I still have a little bit of respect for law enforcement, actually a lot of respect for law enforcement and those detectives that are still back there. Met a female, very interesting female. She lives in that area, and she is a firecracker. She owns several properties out there. Very nice lady. First time came in, I interviewed her, gave me a whole story. And shortly thereafter, I go back into that area to serve a subpoena on a lady that had to go and testify on something that had to do with voter fraud.
Okay.
And I don't know how the lady drove by, saw me, got out, and all of a sudden this lady's super nasty. Super nasty. Well, to the point where I told her, do me a favor, go stand in the sidewalk, because if you don't, I'm going to have you in handcuffs, and I will arrest you. I mean, just nasty. That lady, the way that she came across, that she had a lot of money, that she had a lot of properties out there, and I don't know, just something was wrong with that picture. Just something was wrong. And there was no doubt. She was in bed with a lot of politicians down there, with a couple of politicians down there, and there was no doubt about it. I don't want to get into too much details, but she was definitely in bed. And I'm not saying in bed sexually, but she was in bed, meaning she was she was very connected to the politicians down there, because her interest was properties, lots of properties down there. Evict this one, get rid of the other one. Actually, there was a case that we handled, and there was a gentleman that owned, I think it was a bicycle shop or like an old antique place. Mm-hmm. And mysteriously, the place burned down. And they wanted that property, and the place burned down, and they wanted him to, to close the place, and they sent in code enforcement, and they made his life miserable. I don't remember all the details, but it didn't smell good. It didn't smell good at all.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I recall back in my dad's neighborhood, years back, there was a trailer park where now sits a Walmart, right?
Okay.
That trailer park was sold in a fairly short amount of time, right? The tenants had, if I'm not mistaken, about 6 months to move, right? Which is, I think, reasonable. But they also knew that the area was a low-income area.
Right.
They knew that there were a lot of people there that were undocumented,
right,
that perhaps didn't have, things in order to be able to move. And I recall very vividly. I was a kid, but I recall very vividly that those families were awarded a sum of money, like a grant or whatever,
Right.
to be able to move by that deadline that they had. So, I mean, if it really is in the city's best interest, you know,
I got a better idea. Trust me when I tell you.
simple. Let's help out these families. It's just 70 families. You're not talking 800 families. You're saying 70 families. Let's help them get into low income housing.
If they really wanted to do it, they could do it. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to tell you exactly how they can do it through a federal grant. Exactly how they can do it. Anyways, take it away, Cachi.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back. True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
111, 110.
Mi mujer no se levanta de la cama sin 2 cafés, hechos por mí, por supuesto. Le pregunté cuál es de la casa el mejor café y me dijo, sinceramente, Cachita. Pruébenlo. Y después me dice, salud, con Cachita.
No hay ropa bonita aquí. Señor, me hace el favor. Me hace el favor, porque...
Dígame. Tony Conté.
¡Alejo!
Tú en una tienda de ropa de mujeres.
Bueno, porque estoy comprándole a una dama para hacerle un regalo.
Ay, qué casualidad. Yo también estoy tratando de comprarle a una dama para ver si me dice que sí, porque cuando hay ropa buena no hay que se resista a decirte que no.
Bueno, pues tú sabes que yo nunca me imaginé que aquí en el medio de Default me iba a encontrar con Alejo.
No es default, es hollarse.
Hollarse está en Default.
Usted me desfolca, pero es hollar. ¡Oh, ya sé! ¡En default!
¿En Default?
¿De verdad que sí?
¿Hollarse?
En default.
Señorita, ¿usted me ayuda?
Te ayuda a lo que está más perdido. Hollarse. No hay más nada.
¡Ay! ¿Y eso qué fue? ¡Ay, me dieron por detrás! ¡Ay, no, espérate un momento! Me voy a ver ahora. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, qué mala suerte! ¡Ay! ¿Y yo dónde estoy? ¿Esto es el paraíso?
No, estás en Your Care Health Network.
Avanza con el pie derecho con Your Care Health Network.
Aquí no le cambiamos su suerte, pero resolvemos todos los problemas de su accidente.
Accidentado, recompensado.
La martelo aquí.
¡Ey!
¡Ay, qué sorpresa!
Y me sorprendiste tú a mí porque yo estaba buscando un regalo para ti, ya que me dijiste que te gustaban mucho las pipas.
Sí,
Adivina cuál te quiero regalar.
¿Cuál me quieres
El
regalar?
del pollito.
¡Oh, qué tierno!
Le quiero regalar el del pollito. Porque se parece a él. Mírale el piquito.
¡Oh, qué chulo!
Como ese piquito que tienes ahí.
Señor, esta es la tienda donde compran los artistas, los deportistas y tú que eres VIP también. Fog Nation. ¿Lo digo?
Con G. Fog.
Ahí está. Mira la careta esa. Uy.
Esas son para ahorita, para la cuarentena, para la pandemia. ¿Quieres una? ¿Quieres ponerte una?
Me vendría bien esa cara. Mira, ve, ya empezó
Con
a
esa
tirarme.
cara le vendría bien una de esas. Él mismo lo dijo. Él mismo lo dijo.
Mi gente, gracias por estar conectado con nosotros. Yo soy Tony Cortés y les estoy anunciando que Grimal Joyería y Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería se unen para dar una gran rifa que usted puede ganar. Solamente, escuchen bien, solamente van a compartir, van a llamar por teléfono y van a decir la palabra clave. Grimal Joyería, toma Café Cachita. Comparte. Busca Grimal Jewelry en Instagram, busca a Grimal Jewelry en Facebook, llama por teléfono, tiene 2 tiendas, una en Hialeah y la otra en la 8. Mira lo que está pasando aquí en pantalla. Tenemos grandes regalos, Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería a las primeras 20 personas que empiecen a compartir, a llamar por teléfono, a interactuar con nosotros. Vas a tener todo vas a tomar Cachita. Porque Cachita es nuestra Virgen, nuestra patrona de Cuba. Y van a ponerse una prenda para respetar y querer y amar a nuestra calidad de cobre. Cachita.
Ay, Dayami, yo te estaba buscando en mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería, tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. Una flor.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. This is I'll Call You Back. True Blue One, edited with President Sir.
Izzy Martinez.
And Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Salsa. Well, before we went on break, we were discussing all the stuff that's going on down
Yeah,
south.
man. What can you said that there's some sort of grant that they can request to help these people?
The city, they have the ability, if they're really low income people and they really care about their community and the people that live in that area, and it's not a problem when it comes to crime. If it is, then they need to go ahead and weed out the problem kids from inside that trailer park. But it's really simple, really simple. Get a piece of land, which is they have. Buy the piece of land, or you already have the piece of land, you know that. And get the piece of land, all right? Put up nice and plain, simple trailers, okay? Instead of building, Section 8 and all that stuff, though that's where the money's at, though. The Section 8 and all that. But what happens is you buy trailers and you let these people relocate to those new trailers, new neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And you said there's like about 70 of them?
It's just 70 of them.
Okay.
It's not that many people.
They know they can buy these trailers for about $50,000, $40,000, whatever the hell it is. And then you relocate the people, and those are causing problems, then just evict them and let them go. Don't send them over to Miami-Dade County. Keep them down there or send them down to the Keys. Don't send them our way. But if they want, they can do that. Well, how are they going to do that? It's fairly simple. They know how to get those grants. We've discussed grants before.
Yes, we have.
They get federal grants, and the federal grant comes in through the city or through the county in the case of a couple of investigations that I had. And then you manage the grants of what you're buying and what your plans are for these people. Because if you move those people in and you say, okay, listen, everything is paid for, you don't own anything, we own the property and we own the trailers. All you do is you pay this electricity, you buy, you pay for the water, you pay for, and then you run the grant through that. See, the problem is that when you get a grant like that, there's a lot of auditing, and there's a lot of documentation that you have to fill out. So I don't think they're going to be doing that. I think they're going to be evicting them, and then they're going to be. It will be interesting to know who's the person that is interested in that piece of property. Because see, not all the time is done. It's not always done in a mysterious way or anything like that. Sometimes it really needs to be done. There were trailer parks throughout Miami-Dade County that was just a big problem for the community, because here you had this trailer park in the middle of a residential area, and it was just a total nightmare. There was one on Flagler and 97th Avenue. I don't remember.
I remember that one.
By what is it, Women's Park?
Yep.
Okay, that trailer. My kid used to play. Well, he played baseball all the way up to college, but when he was like about 12 years old, we used to rent a field at Ruben Dario next door, and we would practice there. And in that park, it was like a drive-through for drugs. I mean, a drive-through. Yeah. So one day, there was a couple of fights where we were there, and I said, I had enough of this crap. And I told narcotics, and I told crime suppression teams and stuff like that. And they hit the place, and they emptied that place out. They arrested a bunch of people. They even found one guy with a heroin on him. And
what?
Oh, yeah, they were selling heroin, the whole works.
Where kids are playing?
Yeah. And fights and, and all that crap. But that's a problem. But when you have a trailer park, okay, and there may be migrant workers, or there may be people that just don't have that money to go and buy a house,
or just to move. For you to move anywhere, you have to give 3 months. I mean, what's the cheapest rent that you can get? $1,000?
Exactly.
Not everyone can come up with $3,000, man.
No. And here's the beauty,
especially now in the pandemic.
Here's the beauty of the trailer park. If bad weather comes our way, hopefully it'll never happen again. But if bad weather comes our way, and they need to evacuate because of the trailers, really simple. You take all those people go to a shelter, which we already have anyways, right?
Yep.
Okay. They go to the shelters, and let's say that when they return back to their property or to their trailer, the trailer is gone because the weather hurricane took it, right? $40,000. And they get a brand new trailer, and then you put it up, and then that's it. It's not like a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm even thinking of buying something on the West Coast, and I'm thinking of prefab. They call them prefab now.
No, hold on. There's different types of prefab, and you're gonna make me go.
I'm getting
off topic.
I'm getting a double wide trailer. How's that?
Okay.
Brand new.
Pero check this out. There's prefab. There's one company in particular called U.S. Steel Homes.
Yes,
and it's amazing about them, because I was looking into developing a plot of land next to my house, and it's amazing. It's like taking industrial construction.
It's a puzzle.
To residential, and the thing is that since the plan's already approved by the county inspectors. They build the property. You have plans that you can pick from. Obviously, if you pick a custom layout or whatever,
right,
it's going to take you a little longer. But if you go by one of the floor plans that they already have approved by the county, and the county inspectors go and do everything there anyway, your house will be built in 3 months. Yeah. 3 months. All you have to do is your foundation at the house, have the connection for the water and desagüe, and for the electrical, they literally deliver it to your house.
Right.
Completely steel beam construction. It is super hurricane proof. They come with hurricane impact windows, hurricane impact doors,
and even the trailers nowadays they're like 150 mile an hour, or whatever.
Yeah.
But they know how to deal with it.
Of course.
If it's a problem with crime, like I said before, then get rid of the damn thing. It don't need to be there. And if the people there just don't appreciate, but if they're low income and they're people that are really trying to make it, and they're migrant workers, so on and so forth.
Or you have folks that are elderly, you have folks that are sick.
What are you going to do with them?
You can't just tell them, hey, you have to be out of here in a week. Literally, I mean, really, then what? How do you say that you care for your constituents, that you care for your taxpayers?
Yep.
See, you don't care for your damn taxpayers. You care about your pockets.
Oh, no. See, because they know in math that maybe, I'm not saying this is the case, but maybe in that trailer park, there's not too many registered voters or American citizens. So they really don't, but if there would be, every single person in there would be registered to vote and be American citizens, they'll be finding a way to get them out and doing the right thing. Because no vote, they don't need to vote. I had an investigation, I told you about it a while back, and I love to touch again because it's something that is dear to my heart, which is the homeless, okay? You have the homeless that, for whatever reason, decided, made a decision to take drugs and be on drugs his whole entire life and all that, listen, your problem, not mine. However, you have a lot of older individuals who are veterans that are out in the street that have mental issues. Those are the ones that I have a soft spot for.
Yeah.
Okay. Those people should not be, out there, and some of them want to be out there. That's the saddest thing. However, did an investigation on the homeless trust here in Miami-Dade County, and real short and sweet and to the point. We found out that the people living at the homes at the not the homestead, the City of Miami homeless trust in the buildings. Guess what they were driving?
Let me guess. They were not homeless.
No. Nissan, the first one, I'll never forget, and you can ask me this question 10 years from now, I'll tell you that it was a white Nissan Armada. The second car was a silver BMW, brand new. And then I started doing an investigation, and this is a building that's located on 1st Street in Southwest, I think it's like 14th Avenue. Beautiful building. My partner and I were sitting in the lobby and waiting for the president to come out, not the president of the United States, but the president of the organization there of the.
Okay.
And she came out, and as she's coming out, I'm looking at two real homeless people walking in. They smell, their shoes were falling off, and they come in, and I can tell they're there to ask for help, right? And I look at my partner, Ashley Thomas, and I said, Ashley, they're not going to get a room here. I guarantee you they're not getting a room here. And Ashley goes, that's right. And that's what was going on. Okay? How can you turn your back on people that need it? Okay? If I have the ability, now let me ask you something. How much does it cost you and I, okay, to promote the fundraiser for Everly? How much?
$0.
Zero. So why can we do it? What is it? But people immediately they go, what is in it for me? Nothing. I don't need a damn cent from you. All I need to know is that we get to help somebody.
Exactly.
Ratings, the hell with the ratings. How's that?
It's not about that.
It's not about the ratings. It's not about the money. It's about somebody that needs your help, and we have the ability through the microphone to assist.
To reach these people, absolutely.
Okay? It's not like a commercial for a business or anything like that. It's somebody that really needs it. Okay? But you have people that you come up with a great idea, and immediately they say, and what is in it for me?
Dude, let me tell you, I get a call from some folks, and they wanted me to help them with their logistics for an award show that they're preparing. That they do every year. And I went to their previous award show, and I had many notes where I just felt it was just very unorganized. Things weren't done in a timely fashion. People got bored because the show was too long. It was just a ton of stuff. So they asked me my opinion, and I said, well, if it were up to me, these were the things that I would, most importantly change.
Right.
These are secondary. They're not really, they're important, but they're not that important. And if really what you want to do, because the lady has an organization, at the end of the day, if you want to raise funds for your organization, then we have to find different types of sponsors for you to get the right type of funding that you're looking for.
Correct.
You can get sponsors that will put up banners, or if you're having, stuff going on the screens, you'll have their logos coming up or whatever, and then you charge them for that or whatever. And then she goes, yeah, but then, our operating budget is da-da-da-da. And I look at her, I go, hold on. Did you not just say that this is, I go, let me see the breakdown of your operating budget.
Correct.
So I see her salary. I see her husband's salary. I see her kid's salary. For an event that's supposed to be, this is one of the issues that I had, and I don't have a problem with Toys in the Sun. I support everyone wanting to party, have a good time. This is another event. Toys in the Sun, everyone knows, is this big motorcycle event that happens every year.
Right.
And it raises funds, it raises toys and funds for, I think, the Children's Hospital, St. Jude's. And they collect a ton of toys, and you get, I think, like 50, 60,000 motorcycles that participate every year. But when you look down at the breakdown of the numbers, about 60%, because 60% of what they raise, each biker pays a fee to participate apart from bringing a toy, right? 60% of these funds go to overhead expenses. I have an issue with that.
No, I have a big issue with that.
I have a big issue with
Big
that.
issue.
Because if you want to bring in, for example, Charlie Daniels, like they did one year, they did this big party with like Jägermeister and all this other stuff. Killer. That's awesome. Get Jägermeister to sponsor Charlie Daniels.
Exactly.
You know, don't take that from the funds that people are donating wholeheartedly, and people don't honestly, people don't sit down and say, where is this money really going?
Correct.
You know, that's once I started participating in the Migrant Kids Toy Run with my late godfather, I said, you know, this is what it's about. We had our operating budget is $0. You know, our overhead costs are the items that we buy to for the kids. And I always tell people, please come and help us. Please see where your donation is.
Of course.
Because I can't deal with handing out toys to 500 kids by myself. It's absolutely impossible.
That I have to see.
It's toys, it's food, it's book bags, it's a DJ. I've had kid mariachis. I've had a ton of stuff there.
Correct.
For these kids. And, you know, we make $0 on this. On the contrary, we spend a crap ton of our own personal money, you know, playing Uber, running around up and down and, you know, picking up deliveries and picking up donations of stuff for these kids, you know. And I think that's the way it should be. The moment that you put a price tag on, you know, how much my time is worth to help a needy cause, it's no longer a needy cause. You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
My very personal opinion.
What's in it for me? That's totally unbelievable. I'll give you the perfect example. I called Elio, or I texted Elio and his wife from 305 Fights.
Okay.
And I said, listen, I have a little situation that you might be able to help me out with. And he says, what do you need? Well, I have this little girl named Everly, but so on and so forth. And I give him the whole story on Everly's situation and the parents. And the first thing that I can show you that they wrote back was, what do you need from us? They didn't ask me, you know, what's in it for me or
exactly.
No, what do you need from us? And I says, well, number one, I need to promote it. I need to announce it there, okay? And we're going to have bracelets, and we're going to sell bracelets out there. And then we're going to announce the GoFundMe also, and have the people, if you know, if they get the bracelets, and they also want to do a GoFund, go through GoFund and do it that way. Elio says, you got it. Whatever you want.
I have a good idea for that. Remind me to tell
That's
you my
what
good idea.
we're meeting tomorrow. As a matter of fact, they just answered that we're going to meet up tomorrow night because they've been kind of busy setting up all this stuff for the MMA fights. It doesn't happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. That octagon or whatever the hell they call it.
Write down in your important tablet of stuff that you write. This guy walks in with this pamphlet that's this big every day.
I'm still a detective.
And he writes down these notes. You know, write down QR.
Most of the stuff are unhappy faces of her. And I try to draw her and stuff. But anyways.
So do me a favor, write down QRC. And
QRC.
just write down QRC and remind me that before the show's over. So we can talk about that.
And, you know, going back to that and talking about cities and stuff like that. City of Doral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've been involved in car shows, drag racing since I was 12 years old with my dad and so on and so forth, right? My dad passed away about 11 years ago, and I still have a passion for racing, and I had a car, and I sold it like about a year ago for drag racing, and I love that stuff. I want to get the kids off the street. We already discussed. We try to get the track.
Contaminated land.
Contaminated land. Yeah. It was contaminated until somebody came up with an idea that they were going to make more money building something there that's
horrendous.
Than building a track and getting our kids off the street so they don't have to go racing in the street. And I had a professional NHRA driver who wanted to open up that track, okay, county line. They wanted to open it, not one track. They wanted to open up four tracks running at the same time. They wanted to do a meet. The kids can meet in the parking lot. They were going to have police there to make sure they didn't go out and race out in the street. Or when they left there, they were peeling out and all that. They were going to do a hotel. They wanted to have a hotel inside. They were going to have one of those mud bog, whatever, for the four-wheel drives. They were going to have go-karts for the kids, so on and so forth. Does that sound like a great idea?
That sounds like an amazing
idea.
idea.
Let me give you a better one. This individual has so much backing from the NHRA and all the other stuff that where the track that he had in Thunder Alley, it was in Louisiana. And Nelson had a proposal that it was about 10 inches thick of paper, and it was a beautiful proposal. And you know what? He went to the county. He told the county, "Do you want to be my partner in this, or do you want to rent me the place so I can go ahead and do my, the business there, and I'll pay you a rent. Which one do you want to do? You know what the county said? What did they say? The land was contaminated, and Durham had to go out there, but it wasn't contaminated when they were using it for the airport. Right? It wasn't contaminated when they first opened County Line and gave the permit out to County Line. But when they want to do something professional and stuff that's going, and they wanted to have major NHRA events here in Miami, which would have brought in, hundreds of thousands of tourists coming in to see the big races. But no. Why get our kids off the street? Let them race out there. Let them get killed out there. They're not my kids. That's ridiculous, the way they think. And then, goes back to, all right, the shitty politicians that we have, because they really don't have a heart. It's all about the money, and it's all about their little fame, walking into a room and thinking they're like some rock star or some crap. So on that note, I have a kid named Luis Prieto, and I forgot the other kid's name. And they were about 21. They were about 22 years old. And they walk up to me on a show one day, a car show, and he says, "Hey, I hear that you know a lot of people and stuff like that. We have a proposal. Here we go, another proposal, right?
Okay.
These two kids that were about 22 years old had a proposal that I'm telling you right now, these kids could run any company in the world." And I looked at it and I said, "You did that?" He goes, "Yes, we did. We've sat down many days putting this stuff together." Here was the game plan. The game plan was to go to City of Doral. Yes, City of Doral. And that park they have there on 87th Avenue was a J.C. Bermuda's Park or whatever. I don't know what it's called anymore because they change it every other couple of years. But the J.C. Bermuda's Park, nobody uses that at night. Okay? Yep. Nobody goes there at night. So what they wanted to do was, hey, once a week, Saturday nights, right? Mm-hmm. You charge the cars to go there. You get lunch trucks. You had the lunch trucks go out there, okay? Maybe and have music.
It's a hangout.
It's a car show. They were going to do a car show, but I mean, this was a elaborate thing that they wanted to do, and it's nice and simple. And every single penny, including the lunch trucks, which they had already on board, was going to be donated to St. Jude, and it was called Cars for a Cause. I still have the shirt.
Amazing.
So I made a couple of calls, and I said, I'm gonna arrange to see if you can go and talk to the mayor and stuff like that of City of Doral. And they went in, and I said, hey, good luck. Let me know if you need something. I didn't want to go in. I was still a cop. I didn't want to create a conflict of interest, and not that I give a damn about it, but they went in there, suit and tie and ready to shoot. Right? You know what they told them? Do you have insurance? Because you're going to need like a $5 million insurance. And he goes, insurance? No, I have a proposal here that I'm willing to do, and I think it's good publicity for the city, and it sure as hell going to help a lot of kids in St. Jude. And every single penny is going to go there because Louis and his parents are business people. They have money. They don't need to steal a penny. But Louis had that, the ambition to go out there and do the right thing. Once they were told, well, you need to have this, and you need to have a permit, and you need to, instead of telling him, listen, you need an insurance, but we can work that out because we're going to work it together with you. It's a great publicity for the city of Doral, where there's so much money in that city of Doral with all the Venezuelans and Cubans that live in that place, right? A lot of money, a lot of Maseratis, a lot of Lamborghinis.
That would have been an amazing thing.
Correct. So what happens is they came back and they go, Izzy, thank you for your support. But we don't have the money to come up with an insurance. Like they want like $2 million liability insurance. They need us to get some permits that cost I don't know how much more. The bottom line is they destroyed their goal, their dreams. Their dreams. Never did it again. But anyways, let's take a quick break because I love talking about politics and these local politicians that don't give a damn about anything but themselves. Take it away, Gachi.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back. True Blue Unedited with President Sir,
Izzy Martinez,
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
111, 110.
Miami se despierta con una coladita y yo con mi café Cachita es mejor para compartir mi vida. Qué bueno es todo, qué malo es nada. Por eso yo prefiero café Cachita.
Hay ropa bonita aquí. Señor, me hace el favor. Me hace el favor.
Tony Cortés,
¡Alejo!
tú en una tienda de ropa de mujeres.
Bueno, porque estoy comprándole a una dama para hacerle un regalo.
Ay, qué casualidad. Yo también estoy tratando de comprarle a una dama para ver si me dice que sí, porque cuando hay ropa buena no hay que se resista a decirte que no.
Bueno, pues tú sabes que yo nunca me imaginé que aquí en el medio de default me iba a encontrar con Alejo.
No es default, es hollarse.
Hollarse está en default.
Usted me desfolca, pero es hollar. ¡Oh, ya sé! ¡En default!
¿En default?
¿De verdad que sí?
¿Hollarse?
En default.
Señorita, ¿usted me ayuda?
Te ayuda a lo que está más perdido. Hollarse. No hay más nada.
¡Ay! ¿Y eso qué fue? ¡Ay, me dieron por detrás! ¡Ay, no, espérate un momento! A ver ahora. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, qué mala suerte! ¡Ay! ¿Y yo dónde estoy? ¿Esto es para eso?
No, estás en Your Care Health Network.
Avanza con el pie derecho con Your Care Health Network.
Aquí no le cambiamos su suerte, pero resolvemos todos los problemas de su accidente.
Accidentado, recompensado.
La Martelo.
¡Ey!
¡Ay, qué sorpresa!
Y me sorprendiste tú a mí porque yo estaba buscando un regalo para ti, ya que me dijiste que te gustaban mucho las pipas.
Sí,
Adivina cuál te quiero regalar.
¿Cuál me quieres
El
regalar?
del pollito.
¡Oh, qué tierno!
Le quiero regalar el del pollito. Porque se parece a él. Mírale el piquito.
¡Oh, qué chulo!
Como ese piquito que tienes ahí.
Señor, esta es la tienda donde compran los artistas, los deportistas y tú que eres VIP también. Fog Nation. ¿Lo digo
Con
bien?
G. Fog.
Ahí está. Mira la careta esa. Uy.
Esas son para ahorita, para la cuarentena, para la pandemia. ¿Quieres una? ¿Quieres ponerte una?
Me vendría bien esa cara. Mira, ve, ya empezó
Con
a
esa
tirarme.
cara le vendría bien una de esas. Él mismo lo dijo. Él mismo lo dijo.
Mi gente, gracias por estar conectado con nosotros. Yo soy Tony Cortés y les estoy anunciando que Grimal Joyería y Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería se unen para dar una gran rifa que usted puede ganar. Solamente, escuchen bien, solamente van a compartir, van a llamar por teléfono y van a decir la palabra clave: Grimal Joyería, toma Café Cachita. Comparte. Busca Grimal Jewelry en Instagram, busca Grimal Jewelry en Facebook. Llama por teléfono, tiene 2 tiendas, una en Hialeah y la otra en la 8. Mira lo que está pasando aquí en pantalla. Tenemos grandes regalos, Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería. A las primeras 20 personas que empiecen a compartir, a llamar por teléfono, a interactuar con nosotros, vas a tener todo, vas a tomar Cachita. Porque Cachita es nuestra Virgen, nuestra patrona de Cuba. Y van a ponerse una prenda para respetar y querer y amar a nuestra Caridad de Cobre.
Ay, Dayami, si yo te estaba buscando mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería, tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. Una flor.
Mi mujer no se levanta de la cama sin 2 cafés, hecho por mí, por supuesto. Le pregunté, ¿cuál es de la casa el mejor café? Y me dijo, sinceramente, Cachita. Pruébenlo. Y después me dice, salud, con Cachita.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio. Isidoro, I'm not sure if I did this on the last break because I get pregnancy brain and stuff, but
Oh, boy.
I want to let people know that if you're listening to us, you can go ahead and download us on ENTV USA, where you're going to have access to all of the exclusive content on Cachita Latina Radio from 6 a.m. to midnight. We finish the day off here with us. But you're also going to get access to all of the programming on ENTV USA, including an amazing concert series. You're going to have access to our exclusive and official sponsors, starting with Aaron's Pigeons, that has an amazing show every Saturday right here on Cachita Latina Radio at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss that. And you also get access to our great friends, 305 Fights. They have an amazing platform.
Right.
They have an event coming out March 27th, and we invite you to come on out March 20th. Right here this Saturday. Come to the station. If you go on their social media, you'll see all the information.
Right. From what time to what time can they come and buy tickets? I have friends that want to buy a whole table.
I love this. Hold on, please hold.
Tengo un grupito de amigos que ellos son medios locos. Uno es venezolano, el otro es hondureño. Es como las Naciones Unidas. Entonces quieren una mesa completa para todo el familión y para todo el mundo. Y yo, ¿cómo se llama esto? Quiero ver a qué hora ellos pueden pasar por aquí.
Este sábado pueden estar entre las 10 y las 2 de la tarde, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., cash only. You can come in and get 10% off of your VIP tickets. Ya salen de aquí con su wristband, so, next weekend when the fight comes, you don't have to wait. You walk in right inside.
I'm VIP, right? Do you think if I come, I'd be able to park in the VIP thing? You damn right I am.
You VIP? You're a VIP?
I'm a VIP.
And we are here, ladies and gentlemen, each and every night, courtesy of Café Cachita, el mejor para compartir.
I truly enjoy this. I really do. And it has nothing to do with fame, money, or anything like that. I just enjoy doing it.
I know it's the money.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying a second Corvette next year. But anyways, let me tell you, when I was a cop, I used to tell Silvio Alvarez, Internal Affairs. He used to work with me in Vice, but then he went to Internal Affairs. He became a sergeant, but great guy. And I used to tell Silvio, one day when I retire, and this is just coincidence, I want a show. I want some talk show that I can go on there, and I'm going to tell the public, I want to tell the citizens of this great nation exactly how this government works. I don't know it all, because I'm not an ologist, a cardiologist, that's what they call them, ologists. I'm not an ologist that I know it all. However, Most of the time, like a little while ago, remember I told you what is the beach going to do? They're going to get the city, they're going to get Coral Gables, they're going to get Miami-Dade County, they're going to do a task force, and they're going to hit the beach. But, you know, you got to hit them hard. What's funny is, and you mentioned something that they were going to close the liquor stores at what, 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
Why? Why close them? Okay. Mayor Gelber and city officials, I'm going to give you a tip. I'm going to give you a piece of information you probably missed it. They bring their own booze in the car. If you close...
Did you know that if you purchase all of your alcohol at 7:45 p.m., and you commence drinking your alcohol, you're still going to be drunk after 8.
I buy 2 or 3 bottles of vodka or whatever the hell I want to drink, and then I had vodka for the next 4 or 5 hours, you know, and I'm still going to get drunk. So why are you going to mess with the business owners on the beach?
That's it.
I mean, doesn't make sense. Entonces, otras palabras, a las 8 de la noche en la playa van a cerrar todas las licorerías. Lo que si lo traes en el carro es mejor. Y también si lo compras, como dices tú, porque Cachita tuvo un buen punto, lo compras a las 7:45, compras 3, 4, 5 botellas de vodka entre todos los amigos y tienes vodka ahí para 5 horas, 6 horas después, porque todo el mundo va a estar tomando de las botellas esas.
Pero igual vas a estar borracho.
Pero vamos a fastidiar a los dueños de negocios pequeños.
Que han sufrido suficiente con la pandemia.
Es que esta gente, yo no sé esta gente con quién piensan. Ellos se sientan arriba del cerebro, porque es que yo no me puedo explicar, no, de verdad que sí, porque son una pila normales. ¿Cómo tú vas a estar fastidiando a la gente que están tratando de sobrevivir en sus negocios, cuando tú, y la razón que es, porque tú no sabes hacer el tuyo, porque eres político, no seas político. Acaba de hacer lo que tienes que hacer, es caerle a palo a toda esa gente, meterlos presos y al carajo. Y si te quieres meter un que le metes un le das 10,000, 20,000 pesos que se vayan para su casa a dormir y a tomar leche y no jodan más. Pero el problema es que no, es más fácil decir, vamos a cerrar los negocios. Entonces, las luces de las calles las vamos a iluminar más grandes, porque más, porque entonces se ve más los... Oye, por favor, ¿hasta cuándo? Y vamos a seguir creyendo la bobería esta. ¿Hasta cuándo? Lo que no tienen los pantalones bien puestos.
Han perdido todo el control.
¿Qué clase de pudrición? Es una pudrición completa por todos los lados.
Han perdido todo el control.
No.
Aquí siguen los negocios sufriendo. A golpe del coronavirus no pueden estar abiertos después de las 12 de la noche.
Bueno, ya el coronavirus ya me tiene más jodido que tú no te
Pero
puedes
es que, Isidoro,
oh my God.
tú no sabías. El coronavirus espera a las 11:59.
Para entrar.
Muchacho, está ahí parado diciendo, ok, ahora sí, ahora es que voy a atacar. It's total bullshit.
Bueno, acá
And I said that from day one. Tú me vas a decir a mí que no, coño, me vas a decir a mí, esto fue desde el principio, que no cerraron las bodegas, que no cerraron los Home Depots, que no cerraron los Walmarts. Tú me vas a decir a mí.
No, porque ahí no hay de eso.
No, el coronavirus no entra a Walmart.
Ay, cuando Walmart hizo
y no entra a Home Depot tampoco.
Y la fila de 2 o 3 millas que hicieron la gente para comprar el PlayStation
claro,
nuevo ese se fajaron a piñazos afuera la gente, la mujer tirando un niño, poniendo al niño adelante para que no le dieran, y le dieron al niño,
no
le dieron
va el coronavirus. No, tú no sabías, pero ahí no va el coronavirus.
Ellos permitieron eso. En vez de pararse ahí y decir PlayStation o no PlayStation, aquí no hay cola de nada. No, dejaron hacer la cola, lo que se le fue de las manos, porque enseguida que se formó la piñacera afuera, que se formó tremenda chusmería que se formó allá afuera, que el Doral. Entonces decían, ¿y ahora qué vamos a hacer?
Yep.
No, porque tenían caretas, coño, pero ven acá. ¿Hasta cuándo? Ya está bueno. Yo estoy loco porque me diga, oye, se tiene que poner la careta. Le digo, mira, dale por ahí, no jodas más con la careta, que ya me tiene más fastidiado usted con su careta. Y eso. Yo llevo 1 año y pico, ya llevamos en esto, ¿no? Entonces, ok, yo llevo jugando golf. Yo nunca paré de jugar golf. Cuando estaba cerrado en Miami, me iba para allá, para Naples, para Marco Island, para Fort Myers, a jugar, porque allí tú llegabas y tú decías, coño, pero aquí no hay coronavirus de esto. Porque la gente se ponía su máscara, se montaba en su carrito y iba a jugar golf. Yo no tengo problema con eso. ¿Tú quieres que me ponga la careta para entrar y pagar? Perfecto. Dime que yo tengo que jugar golf con una carita puesta, una caretica de esa puesta. ¿Tú estás loca? Me voy a caer muerto. Los otros días estaba haciendo yo estaba en el internet y estaba chequeando una cosa que dije, déjame que chequear esto. Las complicaciones que puede traer lo que se llama hyperventilation, ¿okay? Que quiere decir que te tapas la boca, te tapas la nariz, cuando a la gente le dan ataques de pánico, que se ponen un cartucho y empiezan a respirar, y lo que hacen es que en vez de alar oxígeno, se están, ¿cómo es? Circulando el mismo, ¿cómo se llama? Ok, y eso, tú sabes que eso trae tremendas complicaciones, ¿no? desde problemas cardíacos y todo lo que se puede imaginar. Y yo me pongo la caretica y voy a cualquier tienda y estoy desesperado por quitarme la careta esa. Me entra un desespero que tú no te puedes imaginar.
El calor,
Y si coges coronavirus, bueno, chicos, imagínate tú, tendrás que me den antibióticos y eso, y si, ya la gente no se está muriendo como antes, ya tienen medicamentos y cosas que los pueden ayudar. Yo no digo que no existan algún tipo de restricción, yo no digo eso, pero ya es el colmo, ya en algunos lugares ya las cosas es interesante que en la playa nadie se pone con eso. ¿En la playa no hay coronavirus tampoco?
No.
No, porque los animales esos que estaban subidos a red en los carros ayer no tenían, que estaban rompiendo los carros policía, ellos no tenían mascarilla.
No hay nadie. Y eso yo lo dije desde el principio. Eso lo que va a causar es lo que está sucediendo ahora.
Claro.
Estamos ya presenciando el spike. Ya nosotros teníamos los números bien controlados de COVID contagious.
Right.
Ya llevábamos semanas con todo controlado. Incluso la alcaldesa dijo, si se mantienen los números así, vamos a abrir a partir de abril 5, vamos a ir ya abriendo un poco, vamos a quitar el toque de queda, vamos a hacer una pila de cosas. Pero, ¿qué sucede? Como aquí el spring break no termina hasta el 12 de abril, aquí no van a quitar ningún curfew. No van a quitar ningún curfew. Estos chamacos son miles de gente que están en la calle, están en su gozadera.
Claro.
No les importa.
No.
Porque incluso yo te he mandado este video de muchachos que dicen, bueno, imagínate, yo llevo 2 meses planificando estas vacaciones. Y si cojo coronavirus, pues cojo coronavirus. Eso a mí no me va a parar.
Pero fíjate,
ok, pero cógelo tú, pero no le estés regando la enfermedad a cuanta gente tú no conozcas.
Sí, pero todas las otras gente que están ahí también están en la misma
They don't care. I know, but you know what happens? That these are people that have contact with servers. These are people that have contact with store personnel. These are with family, with everyone.
Right.
Entonces, ellos terminan, se van para el carajo y nos quedamos nosotros aquí jodidos for another month because now we have a spike.
I would love a doctor, somebody that knows what the hell they're really talking about, to call into the show at 786-753-7870. 786-753-7870. And the reason I want you to call in is that I have a question for you. I'm not putting you on the spot, but I'm going to put this Fauci, I think the guy's a clown, but political clown. But here's my question. If I have influenza, all right, and I go get tested in fear that it might be COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can or will the test come out positive for COVID? That's my question.
That's a good question.
Okay, and I want to know from all those stats that they have that they said, oh, this month, 6,000 new cases. Out of those 6,000 new cases, how many of those cases could be influenza? It doesn't mean you can't die, because people die from influenza. But if I'm going to die of something like that, I want to be certified. My death certificate, I want it certified with the truth. He died from influenza, not from COVID. Because I have a feeling that for whatever reason, if you have influenza, one of those influenza things, you will test positive for COVID.
Bueno.
Okay? Or do they have a test? Now here's the question. When you submit your sample, okay, and they submit it, do they just test it for COVID, or do they test it for influenza and COVID? I know the answer. They're going to just test it for COVID. And then they're going to say, yes, you have COVID, and what you really have is influenza. Huh? How is that? I would love for a doctor to call me. Maybe we can talk about that, because I spoke to a couple of doctors, and they said, yes, it can come out positive. Absolutely.
I would love to talk to a doctor about that.
You know?
Honestly, I don't have enough information on that to be able to make
no, I don't either. But
an educated statement on that. But it's a very interesting question that you're presenting. Absolutely.
You know? But and it's only for stat purposes, because there's 6,000 new cases there's 6,000 new cases, and Fauci comes out, and he wants you to wear 3 masks. Who is this guy? Where the hell did this guy come from? And he's telling people to wear 2 and 3 masks. You might as well, wear an astronaut suit and walk around. I don't know. But, I don't buy it. There's a lot of things with this whole COVID thing that I don't buy. Everything's too coincidental. I think it has a lot to do with influenza also. It has a lot to do with influenza. And influenza has been around for as long as you can remember. Okay? And people do die. A lot of people, thousands of people die from influenza. Or hundreds, whatever. Okay, and now here we are, all 6,000 new cases. But I want to know if you go test for COVID, is influenza going to show up on that test? No, it's not. It's going to show up COVID. I guarantee you. But who the hell is going to call in and admit to that? I spoke to a couple of doctors and they said yes, it can, absolutely can. But what are you going to do?
Oh yeah, I have one more case before we go that I wanted to discuss. Damn it! Let me pop it up. This was actually very surprising because it is. Well, let me just read it to you. A gunman was charged Wednesday with killing 8 people at 3 Atlanta area massage parlors in an attack that sent terror through the Asian American community, which has increasingly been targeted during the coronavirus pandemic. I saw a fascinating video on that the other day. A day after the shootings, investigators were trying to unravel what might have compelled 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long to commit the worst mass killing in the U.S. in almost 2 years. Long told police that Tuesday's attack was not racially motivated. He claimed to have a sex addiction, and the authorities said he apparently lashed out at what he saw as sources of temptation. But those statements spurred outrage and widespread skepticism given the locations and that 6 of the 8 victims were women of Asian descent. The shootings appear to be in the intersection of gender-based violence, misogyny, and xenophobia, said State Representative B. Nguyen, the first Vietnamese American to serve in the Georgia House and frequent advocate for women and communities of color. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms said that regardless of the shooter's motivation, it is unacceptable and it's hateful and it has to stop. Authorities said they didn't know if Long ever went to the massage parlors where the shootings occurred, but he was heading to Florida to attack some type of porn industry. He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate. Baker drew criticism for saying Long had a really bad day, and this is what he did. A Facebook page appearing to belong to Baker promoted a T-shirt with racist language about China and the coronavirus last year. The Facebook account featured numerous pictures of Baker going back months, including one of him in uniform outside the sheriff's office. The account was deleted Wednesday night, and Baker did not immediately respond to voicemails and an email seeking comment. The sheriff's office also did not respond to a message. Meanwhile, Sheriff Frank Reynolds said it was too early to tell if the attack was racially motivated, but the indicators right now are that it may not be. The Atlanta mayor said police have not been to the massage parlors in her city beyond a minor potential theft. We certainly will not begin to blame victims, Bottom said. The attack was the 6th mass killing this year in the U.S. and the deadliest since August 2019, Dayton, Ohio, a shooting that left 9 people dead according to a database compiled by the Associated Press. It follows a lull in mass killings during the pandemic in 2020, which had the smallest numbers of such attacks in more than a decade, according to the database, which tracks mass killings defined as 4 or more dead, not including the shooter. The killings horrified the Asian American community, which saw the shootings as an attack on them, given a recent wave of assaults that coincided with the spread of the coronavirus across the United States. The virus was first identified in China, and then President Donald Trump and others have used racially charged terms to describe it. The attacks began when 5 people were shot at Young's Asian massage parlor near Woodstock, about 30 miles north of Atlanta. 4 died. A 33-year-old, 54-year-old, 44-year-old, and 49-year-old who owned the business. Yon and her husband came to the spa on a date. Her mother, Margaret Rushing, told news stations Yon leaves behind a 13-year-old son and an 8-month-old daughter. Her half-sister said Yon's husband locked himself in a room and wasn't injured. He's taking it very hard. He was there. He heard the gunshots and everything. You can't escape that you're in a room and gunshots are flying. What do you do? The manager of a boutique next door said her husband watched surveillance video after the shooting and said the suspect was sitting in his car for as long as an hour before going inside. They heard screaming and the women running from the business. The same car was then spotted about 30 miles away in Atlanta, where a call came in about a robbery at Gold Spa and 3 women were shot to death. Another woman was fatally shot at the aromatherapy spa across the street.
Wow.
Long was arrested hours later by crisp county deputies and state troopers who refused to stop on a highway, and officers bumped the back of his car, causing him to crash. Officers found Long thanks to help from his parents, who recognized him from surveillance footage posted by authorities, and gave investigator his cell phone information, which they used to track him and Reynolds, the Cherokee County Sheriff. They're very distraught. They were very helpful in his apprehension. President Joe Biden called the attack very, very troublesome. We don't know yet the motive, but what we do know is that the Asian American community is feeling enormous pain tonight. The recent attacks, the community are un-American. They must stop. Vice President Kamala Harris, the first black and South Asian woman in that office, expressed support to the Asian American community, saying, "We stand with you and understand how this has frightened and shocked and outraged all people." Over the past year, thousands of incidents of abuse have been reported to an anti-hate group that tracks incidents against Asian Americans, and hate crimes in general are the highest level in more than a decade. While the details of the shootings are still emerging, the broader context cannot be ignored. Shootings happened under a trauma of increasing violence against Asian Americans. And then the story goes on and on and on. And unfortunately, we have to go, Izzy.
Okay, but before we go, make sure tomorrow you tune in from 7 to 10 in the show called La Papa Caliente.
The Hot Potato.
The Hot Potato with Magali García y
La bombón de la
Claudia
radio.
Castaño. Que el bombón y el bomboncito, they're both from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And no se lo olviden, mañana de 7 a 10 con La Papa Caliente con Magali García y Claudia Castaño. Tremenda combinación.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita López here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Be back.
¿Deseas un seguro de auto más barato? ¿O buscas un seguro para inquilinos para proteger tus pertenencias contra incendios o robos? Viper Insurance te ayuda y te ahorra mucho dinero. Ofrecemos algunas de las tarifas más bajas de seguros de todos los Estados Unidos. Incluso, aunque tengas un historial de manejo imperfecto, puede que califiques para obtener mejores tarifas. Y al obtener tu seguro para inquilinos con nosotros, podrás ahorrar aún más. Incluso si tienes seguro de auto, vivienda o inquilinos, es posible que estés pagando más de la cuenta. Llámanos gratuitamente y habla con nuestros amables agentes. Con una simple llamada te ayudaremos a obtener un seguro para auto, vivienda e inquilino. Llama a Viper Insurance ahora. 800-449-7618. 800-449-7618. 800-449-7618. Viper es un servicio.